Okay, continuation of question 5A2. Yes, so we have this, the square root of 10,000 over 2 pi. Then in brackets here we have omega t minus sine 2 omega t over 2. In brackets then we have what we're differentiating on as in pi and 0. Okay, so the next step, what you're supposed to do, you substitute. Where there is omega t, you put 2. Remember how we integrate. Okay, when you are evaluating something. So when you are evaluating, let me say an equation that you've been given. For example, you've been asked actually to integrate or to differentiate. For example, in this case, you have this. What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to substitute. Where there is omega t, you put this. Remember here, don't this omega t here, the wt, it's not supposed to confuse you, because in other cases they can be putting the xx. Remember, if it is x minus sine 2x, where there is x, we are replacing with this. You get, where there is x, you substitute with it. Where there is x, you substitute with pi. Where there is x, you substitute with pi. But in this case, this question actually, it is in radians, because of the pi that we are having, these omega t's that we are having, because we are integrating it with respect to omega t. That's what we are integrating this function to. Okay, so we proceed. So what I'm saying is, where there is here in the this function we've been given, where there is omega t, substitute with the pi. So it will be the square root. You write your 100, your 1000, your 10,000 here over 2 pi. So here you have, where there is omega t, you substitute with what? Where there is omega t, you substitute with your pi minus sine 2. Here, where there is omega t, you substitute with your pi over 2. You cross here, you open another one, minus, you open another one. The same equation, where there is omega t, you substitute with what now? It is 0 minus sine 2, open bracket, 0, you close, over 2. You are done with this part. Remember, it's all under the square root. You have something like this. What next? What are you supposed to do? So you continue. The square root. So now here you have your 10,000 here over 2 pi. Okay, so now you have I'll use the open bracket. So now you have this one. You have your pi minus, what is sine 2 pi over 2. So what you are supposed to do here, you're supposed to do all the calculations in radians. You're supposed to convert your calculator into what? Into radians. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be punching direct the way these calculations are, but you're supposed to convert them into radians. That's what you are supposed to do, not punching them directly. Okay, so you come to this part. What is on your calculator? Here is the calculator. So here is the calculator. Change your calculator into radians. You place on the mode here where there is rad. So rad, it's 2. You place your 2. Okay, meaning your calculator has been converted to rad. So here you have your sine. You have your sine to this. You have 0. What is sine 2 pi? That's 0. And a rad. You're not supposed to do these calculations whilst your calculator is in degrees. Okay, let me give you an example. What I mean is, you have this one, you have this. You have this. So once I place 3, reset all. So my calculator actually has gotten back to what? To degree mode. So once I say what is sine 2 shift pi, answer. Have you seen the values? I'm having 0.1. When I round it off, it will be 0.11. That's not equivalent to 0. Okay, so your calculator is supposed to be in rad. So your calculator is supposed to be in radian. So what you're supposed to do is place your mode till you find your rad. Rad is in 2. You place on 2. Your calculator has been converted to rad. Then what you're supposed to do, since the calculator has been converted to rad, just place direct. You have your sine 2 shift sine. Sine 2 pi in rad, that's a 0. So you have 0 as your answer. So here you place with 0, you divide by 2. You're done with this part. Minus, you come to this part. open bracket. We come to this part here, this part. Okay, so this part you have 0 minus, what is sine 2 0? What is 2 times 0? That's anything multiplied by 0, that's 0. So meaning this one, it's already out. Yeah, so this one, it's already out. There's nothing that we can do. Simple. Okay, so sine 2 multiplied by 0, that's 0. Divided by 2, that's 0. You have something like this. You continue, proceed to the next level. So you have this one. So what is 2 into 0? That's 0. 2 in 0 goes how many times? 0 times. So you have the square root of 10,000. This one, you're going to remain with the pi on this side. Pi, remember, it's not in the, remember pi, it's in the square root, but yeah, remember that pi, it's in the square root, but it's under 2. We have this. You have something like this. We have 10,000 over 2 pi times pi. So you can cancel the pi and the pi goes. You remain with what? You remain with 2. So here, you proceed. So what is the square root of 10,000? The square root of 10,000 on your calculator, when you do this, what is the square root? What is the square root of 10,000? This is 10,000. You're going to remain with, you're going to have 100. So what is 100 over, what is the square root of 2? So this, the square root of 2, when you have this, have you seen, you are having the point. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to indicate, actually I'm going to include the 2 here as the, the square root of 2 as the denominator. So the denominator, you're going to have the square root of 2. Then you punch this direct on the calculator. So which is equals to, when you punch this direct on the calculator, this is what I mean. You have your 100, you divide it by the square root of 2. You're going to have 70.71. When I round this off, it will be 70.711. So it will be 70.711. Okay, so equals to 70.711 voltage. Remember, we are calculating the voltage, so this becomes your final answer. Thank you for following. We will proceed to the next question. The next question, it is question 5b.